Let me start by just recognizing some of our distinguished leaders that are here. I have to recognize the party chairman, our own dear senior brother, distinguished Senator David Mark. Recognize the chairman of our occasion and our dear father, Chief Simon Okeke, and all the elders that are here, because all the ex-governors here, apart from maybe my junior brother Emeka, and all my seniors, let me say on all protocols very respectfully and duly observed. It's true, there's two juniors here. So let me recognize all of them and set all protocols very duly observed. Today is an important day. Today is the last day of 2025. So we are ending this year with a hope that in 2026 we will begin a journey of rescue of our country. For proper socio-economic development that will be unifying and inclusive. We have all watched those who benefited from our democracy sometime now become accessories to destroying our democracy, either through coercion and gangsterism against the opposition. We cannot allow this to happen. We will resist it. We've not seen people who benefited in our democracy be part of celebrating electoral fraud publicly. And we are saying that those who are planning to rig an election in Nigeria come 2027, we will resist it by every means lawful and legitimate. And we are urging this happen because we have weak institutions like INEC, which we are urging them in the coming election. We must do whatever it is to follow the rules and the regulation, starting by educational qualification for eligibility to sit for any election. We can no longer be where they are asking whether this person went to school or not. We have 1 year now to determine who went to school and who didn't go to school. We have 1 year now for people to tell us the school they attended. And when they left those schools, we don't want it to be something we go to court after election. They say it's pre-election matter. We have pre-election situation now to verify everybody who wants to contest the election for Nigeria. And we must follow that. Our commitment is about Nigeria. In all my touring and everything, we are committed to a better Nigeria, and we found all the studies that we have followed religiously, and I'm going to mention a few, to tell you why it is important what we are doing here today and why we must follow it, and know that two things are critical if we are going to turn around Nigeria. We must stay united. Nigeria today is not united. We must ensure the unity of the country. We must ensure we have competent leadership. I have followed by studies of where we have conflict, where we have strife, where there's disunity, and where there's unity, and what it brought about. Because of it, I've read several books in it, but I'm going to cite one which Professor Tommy knows very well. He took me to visit one of the best authors who wrote on conflict resolution and transformation, because we're talking about transforming our country. And that took me to read a book by Professor Nicholas Fox, of California University. And after reading that book, met with him alongside Professor Tommy, and after listening to him, I decided, for the interest of what happened in Rwanda, to visit Rwanda. And sat down, had the opportunity of sitting down with Paul Kagame to listen what he did in reconciling and transforming that society, which shows me hope that it can happen here.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chinedu. I think it's a wonderful place to leave it here. All right, Mr. Chinedu, once again, let me have your reaction. It's important that Peter Obi might likely going to be the presidential candidate of ADC as Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is planning to step down from Peter Obi. Let me have your reaction. Is that, do you think it's something that Peter Obi should accept that offer? And do you think Peter Obi hoping that he has the capacity and the competence to compete with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, having in mind that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be able to capture the entire South-South and the entire South-East and the North-Central at large?
Peter Obi is an eliminating factor in any political party he finds himself. You know, he lights everywhere up. He makes everywhere steam. Whether you like it or not, Peter Obi has been on the international scene for close to 6 months now. He is the only candidate among all the aspirants in Nigeria, including the sitting president, that is laundering the Nigerian image globally. If you go to EU Parliament, EU Fora, international community, Peter Obi is always there. In UK, delivering lecture. In United States of America, the same thing. In Australia, virtually everywhere. 2 months ago, you can see he's present with the EU Parliament, with the EU, European Union, you know, speaking, telling the whole world what he intends doing. If you go to Asia, the same thing. Everywhere is Peter Obi. You know, he has been able. Peter Obi does not need a structured political party. Yes, it might be very important. But what gave Peter Obi victory in 2023 was not a party thing. It was Peter Obi's integrity and personality gave him over 7 million or 8 million votes, and on which people acclaim that he is the one that won that election. Without the local government, a councillor, without the local government chairman, without a senator, without a governor, Peter Obi won 2023 election. According to Erufai, I'm not the one that said it. The same Northerners that they said that they are the one that brought evil, they are the one that will remove evil. Yes, let them go ahead and do it. They are the one confessing. We didn't hear it from Obi. It was the same Northerners that came and said that Peter Obi won that election. But that's the fact. So if they are the one that they know what they did and they handed over to the person, they are saying now he's evil. The same Northerners are saying that the people they brought to power is evil. And to an extent, you know, this government has not been able to give Nigeria credibility in terms of leadership, in terms of governance, in terms of development. You know, and this happens to be, for me, one of the worst governments ever in the history of Nigeria. The level of incompetence, the level of people involved in the leadership of APC at that level have virtually nothing to offer. And I can tell you that my reference to the governor for your state.
So you mean that you agree that Peter Obi should pilot the affairs of ADC?
APC want us to. Let me tell you, there's an international pressure already, and if care is not taken, APC is looking forward to likely going to adopt Obi. Yes, I'm telling you, you might not know. The guy has lost international credibility.
You mean Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
Yes, he's not in good terms with any part of the world. Again, he's not in good terms with the United States of America.
But his friend is there now, Macron.
But I'm telling you, Macron cannot offer him 60 at this point in time, because if care is not taken, Macron is going. He's in trouble. Kestama is in trouble. UK is in trouble. Everywhere they're in trouble. All his friends are running away. They don't even want to see France in Africa, talk less of Nigeria. So APC is considering the fact that if this thing continues, it's better we adopt Obi at the end of the day and allow this man to go so that we can still retain power. But on the north, there's a calculation, political calculation from the north, that, you see, even though we are seeing it very clearly that it is part of the South downtown to produce presidency. The another angle of it is that, the northern powers that destroy PDP and possibly want to destroy APC under Bola Tinubu are the ones saying it very clearly that Atiku must go down for Obi to emerge. And from what we are hearing, it's likely that Atiku is going to excuse himself and support Obi. And if he supports Obi, it is going to be a walkover. And second, let me tell you, why Nigerians will raise their hands up for Peter Obi. Peter Obi is the only governor. If I don't have a talk about integrity, then we are far from leadership. Peter Obi is the only individual who have served this country without his name appearing in the EFCC. I've never seen any governor, either by omission or commission, that you will not see 1 naira corruption either in his doing. I'm not saying Peter Obi is a saint, but to an extent, he has shown that there are people who cannot compromise leadership. Atiku have problem, allegations of fraud. Bola Tinubu have allegations of fraud. All of them have allegations of fraud, apart from Obi. And Nigerians, Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, voted for him in 2023. But the institutions of rigging, INEC and judiciary, does not allow that to happen. But the Northerners are saying this time around, okay, by 12 o'clock, Bola Tinubu is already in Osun or Bodilon. And that's what they're saying. He must go. So if truly Atiku can understand and know very clearly that this is a matter of coalition, this is a matter of Nigeria, this is a matter of integrity, this is a matter of leadership, this is a matter of governance, Nigerians are suffering. Okay? In honest truth, by January this year, 2026, Nigerians will be sweating in tax reform. Nigerians, what you are seeing about tax reform is total lack of leadership, lack of experienced advisors within the structures of leadership and power in Asoro. How can you surround yourself with Lagos boys already, and you think you can actually deliver democracy to the people? You can see it now. In less than 2 years, dollar skyrocketed. In less than 2 years, house rent skyrocketed. In less than 2 years, petrol price hit the roof. Things become very expensive. Nigerians cannot afford ordinary 1 room again. And you say you are a million, I don't know what you call it. I'm telling you. So Nigeria cannot, we need to be rescued. If they can rescue Nigeria from Jonathan, according to them, let them also come and rescue Nigeria from this man.
Mr. Chinedu, will you vote Peter Obi?
I am not going to vote for Peter Obi, and I had my reasons.
What's your reason?
Because I have a political party, National Conscience Party. That is where I belong. What I am going to do is that I have sympathy for Obi.
So Obi is going to have your sympathy vote?
Yes! Thank you, KC 360. Obi is definitely going to have my sympathy vote, but I am not going to vote for Obi. For national peace, stability. Because I told Nigerians in 2023, Atiku, Obi, Bola Tinubu choose leadership. They choose bigotry. They choose tribe. They choose tribalism. How far now? Otimbamio, Etimbamio, that's what we are hearing. You should said, why are the Igbo youths silent. Did you see it? On national TV. Nigerians should be scared of that silence. They sentenced Nnamdi Kanu to imprisonment, the Igbo youth. There is hardship in Nigeria. Now we know where they are going. That Nigeria should be careful at this point in time because Igbos has gone silent. We know why we are silent. We are going to cancel that southeast rubbish. And you can see there's gradual reawakening, unification that is going on now. The people has been reawakened. They have come to understand themselves that how can we have oil and we become a gate man on it? People like Asari de Kuba, shame unto you. I respect General Asabuja. I do not respect him for anything. I pray that this video gets to him. I do not respect him for anything. But I respect him for standing on the side of truth. How can you turn me a gate man in my own land where I have resources? And the money will get, he said, I'm an Igbo man. Irrespective of it, you came and divided us south. Say they will cancel it, and they will cancel it. I give kudos to the Ohanese Youth President, John Azonta Mbanta. He's from an Ikwere man. When they go there, they say, you are not. Let an Ikwere man come to Lagos and tell them, say, you are not an Igbo man. Then they will listen to you. They will give you the same punishment they give Igbo people. That is the picture.
All right, Mr. Chinedu Mike, I think it's a very wonderful place to live in.